You got to somehow make an ally with your body. And again, just keep being in tune with the mind and how you're feeling about yourself, and really take time to understand how that's evolving.
I think one of the ways that we can do that is to do a critical thinking exercise right now, which is about beauty ideals. So I want us, because, you know, the way that we're going to get there is by unpacking all of this. So what I'd love to do is, we've got this whiteboard up here.
We do indeed.
I will play Vanna and write. Okay. Does anybody know what I mean when I
good
say
at
I'm going to play Vanna? Or okay, I just want to make sure I know my audience. All right, fair. I've got good handwriting. That's how I got nominated to do this.
There you go.
But I think what we'd love to do, and Iskra will help me prompt it out, but I just want to make a running list going back to what the beauty ideals feel like in our culture right now. So just start to throw out there what we think culture, society, maybe your family, maybe your friends, maybe whoever,
magazines,
media is telling us that we think constitutes being beautiful. Like, what does that mean? And I'll just start to write those down.
Nice butt.
A nice butt.
Okay.
True. It's like, okay.
And that's culturally shifted quite a lot in the
sure
last
has.
even 5 years. There's been a certain family, you know, that has.
Well, it used to be boobs. Sometimes it's butt. Sometimes it's waist.
Yeah.
It does, and it's changed through the centuries too, right?
At my school, it was all about, could you put a pencil between your boobs and then make the pencil stay?
Really?
That was a thing. And if you couldn't, like the girl, oh, you've got no boobs, you're flat-chested.
I could have rocked that one then. Okay.
So
A nice butt. So see,
shifting.
but you see how ridiculous it is? It's so random. But let's keep going. So nice butt. What else?
A tiny waist.
Tiny
Hold on. I
waist.
heard tall. I
Tall.
heard tiny waist.
Yeah.
Having a summer body.
Oh, what does that mean? Let's break that down. Having a summer body.
Yeah. Because that's an ideal within this ideal.
Bikini ready.
Ah.
Right. And what does that, when you think about that, what happens?
Are you ready to be in a bikini?
Uh-huh.
So tight and toned. Abs. Abs.
Hold on.
Right.
Tight. Toned.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of beauty ideals. Tight, toned. What else? Tan. What is it?
All the T's.
All the T's.
What about skin?
No cellulite.
No
cellulite.
cellulite.
Clear skin, no blemishes.
Yes, thank you.
No hair. Yes. Wax.
I'm
No
gonna need a
body
bigger
hair.
board, everybody.
Yeah.
No blemishes. Wait, no blemishes.
Long hair.
Long hair.
Long hair.
Ah, wait, this is an important one. Long hair on your head, nowhere else.
Yes.
Thank you for that. But those details are important because
They
we
are.
don't realize how many of those lessons we've absorbed from culture and then live as truth.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So long hair, only on head.
Yeah.
Nowhere else. Okay, keep going.
Even things like, if we're talking about the
Yep.
summer body, it's like no tan lines, no burning, no, like,
on.
even within that ideal, there's like
Turkey
ridiculous things.
boobs. Hold on, I
Turkey
gotta do
boobs.
that. Sorry.
Even size boobs.
Even,
You
all
know?
right.
No wonky boobs, no different size boobs. They have to be symmetrical. Same with eyebrows. Eyebrows, like
Wait,
Big
what about
eyebrows.
eyebrows? Let's get specific. What are the eyebrows?
eyebrows on fleek.
All right.
Isn't there something about smelling good too? Like you
Straight white teeth. Yeah.
What, on smelling good?
scent, like you have to like smell like a flower all the time.
As a woman, you definitely do. We must be.
No wrinkles over here. I thought
Oh yeah. No wrinkles, no sagging skin, no rashes.
Oh my
no,
gosh, we're getting,
it
I
could-
can't fit all of this. Okay.
And you know
Saggy
why,
skin.
like, these are so easy for me to reel off is because at some point in time, they've all been airbrushed off me. You know, like bruises have been airbrushed off, or freckles, or my little mole on my stomach. What is wrong with that? Like, why
Yeah.
would you?
Yeah.
Why would someone sit down and think, I'm going to take that off because that's going to make her look more attractive, appealing,
Well,
beautiful?
I'll tell you why though. This is why I think this exercise is so interesting because and we talked about how butts are in now, boobs were in then. I think that if we don't challenge these beauty ideals, we keep repeating them. And then we
So
repeat
true.
them to our kids.
Yeah.
And if you're a photographer or if you're an airbrusher or somebody who's working in this industry, you have these beauty ideals. So that's why they remove your mole, right?
Yeah.
Because they think that's what equals beautiful.
And that's what they've been told. over
Exactly.
time. And just like you said with a friend recently, and you know, a little girl saying about dark eye bags under her eyes.
Yep.
You know, at like age 10. You know, that's obviously been learned from somewhere.
And it doesn't end there.
I was going to say, tell me about that.
My
Yes.
age
Yes.
With women, I find myself still looking at women thinking, they don't have they don't have this or that, and I think,
why at this point in my life would I even feel that way?
Right. Well, and age is a big thing too. So I would say in here,
You
one
can't
thing we
age
big
either.
missed was this,
Can't
was
age.
youth.
It's like
Right.
amazing.
Right. What else? Any other beauty ideals? Now, one thing we did, so we put nice butt, tall, tiny waist, the summer body, the bikini, all that kind of stuff. Are there other things that are subtle that we haven't thought about?
I think there is. I think there's also how we are posing. And how we are, the beauty ideal, again, is just for the male viewership. I think there's an underlying thing that we have to be sexually ready, and we have to be portraying that we're feminine and womanly, and, you know, I think that also really contributes to this beauty ideal of, like, you know, being attractive to men. Yeah,
Oh, wait, yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I put, well, I now have to spell in front of a whole room. Feminine. It looks weird though, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll edit that out.
And it's so sad because without this, which has been constructed by the media, by society, by culture, we weren't born hating our bodies. We weren't born
that's a
judging
learned
each
state.
other. This is learned.
But wait, I also put in one here that we didn't even talk about
Yeah.
as well, which is outside of having, you know,
Any kind of
physical
disability, yeah.
differences, right? Differently abled, or we always are idealizing an able-bodied body, right?
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, this probably just skims the surface, quite honestly, right? Of what we've absorbed
Yeah.
as a beauty ideal. And if we operate, I think one of the things Iskra and I are going to walk us through today is, if you're at a place in your life right now where you want to increase body acceptance or develop a different relationship with the way you think about your home base, it will not happen just by wishing it so.
No.
There is work involved in how you get there. And the first thing I do is unpacking.
Realizing this is a lie.
Yes.
And also
Yeah.
realizing the cost. If this is a beauty ideal that you're holding yourself to daily, or even in your lifetime, if this is something that's just always weighing on you that you think you should be like, you're going to every day feel like you're failing, every day not feel good enough, every day compare yourself to
Just show
something
of
that's
hands,
not
how many
real.
people do feel like that right now?
I have, so I'm going to put my hand up for sure.
Right? So there's
Yeah.
some of this I think it's so important to unpack, and then there's probably a lot on here we haven't even
For
touched
sure.
on yet, right?
Yeah.
There's cultural differences. There are differences that will come up based on how we've been raised in religious organizations
Yeah.
and the way we've been raised in our family circles. I mean, I remember before we even talk about big bad media, a lot of beauty ideals, right, come from our families.
Definitely.
It's like a men thing. Didn't like men invent all these beauty ideals? I'm serious. Like, didn't they like?
Well-
this is what we're trying to be attractive to men because they said all those things are what they want.
I think it's right, and I think it's a little more complex than that,
Yeah.
because I
There's
think
a-
it's
yeah.
been a hybrid of both industry and the ideals of attraction for marriage and procreation, and then I think that there's a whole lot of stuff swirled in. But the other part is that we have been complicit in this also, right? We've been a
And
participant.
adding to the conversation by, you know, as a female community, the first thing we often say is, wow, you've lost weight, you look fantastic.
Right.
We know we base so much of our worth and our value system on appearance,
Yes.
and it's just adding and filling into that, because I bet you the compliments that you're saying are because of this.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing someone, oh wow, she lost weight, or, you know, her boobs look perky, or whatever it might be, her skin's,
Right.
you know, blemishes, and you're going to comment on that, and it's very hard to undo that. It's super hard. So don't be hard on yourself if
Yeah.
you catch yourself doing it, but hopefully today at least you'll now be aware, so
Yeah.
you can disrupt that cycle.
I think it's too about a value system. I think this has been valued in different cultures and societies
Yes.
for so long. And so without challenging it, I always say we cannot change what we won't challenge. So we have to challenge this
Yeah.
in order to shift it. And the first place is not on men or not on media or not on even on mom. It's about us as well,
Yeah.
right? Especially if you're experiencing this kind of workshop now and you're of an age where you are thinking some of your own thoughts and you are
Yes.
able to like redesign your life a little bit for you. This I think is really important, because I remember I've been doing, you know, body image workshops for a long time, but I remember one of the first and most powerful ones was a young woman. She was probably in middle school, and she was really obsessed with the size of her thighs. And I remember as an educator, like thinking it's probably because of what something some boy said or something she saw in a magazine. But she said that she grew up in a family, and she was told from a little girl that women in her family have thunder thighs.
Right.
And so she just never thought otherwise. So she always called her thighs thunder thighs. She always thought about her thighs. And she said it was my grandma, my aunties, my cousins, my mom. It was almost like hereditarily passed down.
I had the same thing about butts. We called it the Lawrence bum. And like and it's so, now we'd say total eclipse anytime my grandma would bend over, which was funny, but actually it's like really awful. You know, we'd be like, oh, total eclipse, like every time. And all my family would go, you're going to get the Lawrence bum one day, you're going to have cankles, like, you know, it's just what happens. And I was terrified.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like it's important to know it can come from all spaces and places. And also, I've also heard other stories where people grew up in, you know, in environments where this wasn't introduced as ideals. But as we start to look on social media quite a bit and experience life in a 3D world, we are looking at life through a screen oftentimes, right? Where things can be perfected or airbrushed out or photoshopped out. So I feel like one of the biggest tools for us in body acceptance and body confidence is critical thinking, is challenging, is thinking about what somebody says is an ideal, and for you just to try it on and say, does that feel right for me? Is that something that I can relate to? Is that something I believe in?
Yeah.
Right?
And hopefully next time you see one of these images or one of these constructed messages, you're going to be able to unpack it now. And it's not, you're going to be consuming things, and every day we're consuming things subliminally, but you're going to be more aware now. So you're going to go, oh, that's making me think, I need to be more tan or tone, or I know I don't have to be. That's what they're saying, but I'm going to do me. Yep. I'm confident in myself. So that's kind of where this is very important. And please share it. You know, please educate everyone around you. And if you can see someone look at a picture, maybe it's on social media, and you can see someone going down a rabbit hole where there's this girl on the beach and she's like, oh, I wish I looked like that. Just stop someone right there and just educate them a little bit.